I think you're making a big mistake.
What? Don't do this.
What are you talking
Please
about?
don't do this.
You said you liked this
You're gonna
idea.
look stupid,
You
man.
said you would do it.
You're gonna look weird.
Come on, let's just do it. Wait a minute. What do you use these for?
My body.
Hi Seth, welcome to ShortList.com.
Thank you.
So 50/50 is sort of inspired by your friendship with Will Reiser.
Yeah.
He's sort of finding out he has cancer.
Yeah.
And he sort of, I mean, you're pretty much playing a version of yourself, I guess.
Yeah.
How did he kind of write you? Were you pleased with the way he wrote you?
Yeah, he wrote me a little bit dumber and more insensitively than I would like to think of myself, but maybe that's how I am, and I just needed him to expose it. But overall, I mean, when I watch the movie, it doesn't feel like me up there. It feels like I'm playing a character, but there's definitely elements to my personality in there. But overall, it feels not so much like me, I hope.
You didn't ask for any sort of changes then when he wrote it?
No, I have not a lot of shame in my own personal life, so I'm okay with that.
Did you ever actually try and get girls from his cancer? Did that ever work out for you? Or?
I did go to bars and parties and stuff with Will while he had cancer, and I can't help but think it portrayed me as a compassionate, sensitive friend, which does work well with women. But it was never as specifically motivated as it is in the movie. We were never like, let's tell girls you have cancer and we'll get laid from it. But we didn't shy away from it.
Did you guys, I know you when you had cancer, you kind of got through it by making up sort of silly movie ideas about a guy who had cancer.
Yeah.
Can you give me some examples other than 50/50?
Yeah, we would always talk about like an R-rated version of the bucket list that we called the fuck it list, about guys that like just do really screwed up stuff before they die, like they do heroin and crack and murder someone or something like that. To us, that was, I think the bucket list was coming out around that time, so it was in the ether. But yeah, that's the kind of idea we had before we realized we could probably just make a movie almost exactly about what actually happened, and it would be interesting also.
So we're never going to see the bucket list actually being made then?
Maybe, in a few years, we'll see.
The film manages quite well to sort of avoid cancer movie cliches, which I think you kind of expect when you go and see a film with someone who has cancer. Do you guys sort of sit down and watch, like, you know, Stepmom, Turns Me Dim, and all these films and say, we've got to avoid doing all this kind of stuff?
I mean, we had seen them all, and I think just that style of movie is so embedded in the psyche of everyone, I think, that we didn't have to get specific in trying to avoid that stuff. I mean, the whole reason we wanted to make the movie is we felt like none of those movies show how a lot of funny stuff happens even amid something like this. And so I think conceptually we were going in a different direction than those movies, so it wasn't that hard to avoid their conventions.
Last month there was a pop culture montage made with all the times you sort of have pop culture references in films. Have you
Really?
seen it?
No, I haven't.
They would put together a montage every time you sort of reference an actor or a film.
Oh, that's funny.
It's in a montage. So you haven't seen it?
No, I haven't. I'd like to though.
You should.
Yeah, I should. Yeah, I think that adds to the authenticity of a movie, personally. I mean, some directors I've worked with don't like it because they feel it maybe dates the movie in a specific way, but a movie's dated anyway. I mean, movies have times where they're set, so for me to, you know, reference whatever popular culture things are happening at that time, to me that just makes it more authentic, not distracting. But some people feel differently about it.
It wasn't a derogatory thing. It was
No. I think it's interesting.
No,
I think it's interesting how people. I just did a movie and the director hated it every time I would try to do something like that, which I found to be very interesting.
So one final question. I know you're not going to be in the Knocked Up sequel or spin-off, or whatever the official word for it is.
I don't know what it is. I don't know. Is it a spin-off? Yeah, maybe it's a spin-off. Offshoot? Yeah, something like that.
Is your character being referenced at all? Did he die a horrible death? Or?
I think my character is referenced, and I'm not 100% sure where they landed with him. But I'm curious to see myself, to be totally honest.
If you could choose, what would you choose your character's death?
He won the lottery and moved to Jamaica, but I don't think that's what will happen.
That sounds nice.
That sounds fun, huh?
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, you too.
I have cancer.
For the millionth time, yes!
Great song.
Totally.
I have cancer.
I was wrong.
Nice to meet
It
you.
was weird. It's
Yeah,
weird like
no,
that.
that's
It's not.
too
It
soon.
doesn't sound cool.
No.